Bishop.
We needed a subtitle on today's episode. It's Dave versus cursors and why mice don't work.
These kind of mice, computer mice.
I'm sitting there.
Oh,
I
goodness.
tried for like a minute and a half to start our video stream. I couldn't
Because you
get
couldn't
that.
get the mouse to work?
Well, the mouse has been kind of messy the last,
Needs
half
batteries.
hour. No, I was using the pad on the
Oh,
laptop,
oh,
and
oh,
the mouse is sitting there jittering, or the cursor, and I'm
uh-oh.
going, what the heck? And so I couldn't get the stream going, so I had to sprint back to our video room, grab the
Well,
mouse,
I heard
bring
that. I
back.
heard the open, and I look up, and you're not there, and I'm like, uh-oh. And if you don't come back, I'm dead in the hole over here.
Well, yeah, because I got to turn you on.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, here it is Thursday already. And yeah, another week has flown by. We were complaining about having to do a full 5 days, and now day 4. We're already into day 4. So boy, the weeks fly by. In fact, I was just talking with Dave Lee at one of our sister stations over in Detroit Lakes, and he said something about he made the comment that half of 2025 is gone, and I'm like,
Lies!
I
Lies!
said, don't say that. So
Dave!
yeah, I know. So he backed out of it and he apologized and all
Oh,
that sort of thing. After he said it, he was like, "Oh, that's awful, isn't it?"
that's just mean.
That is mean. And Dave is the nicest guy in the whole wide world.
Well, I think I'm the nicest guy in the whole wide world.
Well,
Dave can
as
go
Dave's
second.
go, yes. I mean, you guys are, top notch. I'll give you equal footing. How's that?
Well, I'm your co-host. I should be a little bit higher.
Okay, you get number 1. Dave Lee has to take number 2. And
There
the
you go.
funny thing is, I feel like I'm such good friends with him, and I have met him one time in
Really?
person. One
Oh,
time.
he's a great guy.
He is a great guy.
You got to
But
go check out his restaurant.
I know I do need to do. Have you done Where to Eat there?
Yep.
Oh, you have. Okay. Well,
The
I
Gobbler
do
Grub and
need.
Pub.
In fact, you know what? This weekend we might try to make that happen
I recommend
because it's not far from me at the lake.
I recommend the UBC.
Okay.
It's the ultimate bacon cheeseburger, and it's got like cheese curds on it.
Gobbler's Grub in Frazee, right?
Gobbler's Grub and Pub, downtown Frazee.
Okay. And it's really a cute. I mean, I've seen it on Facebook and I saw it on, your guys' deal.
Yeah.
And really a cute little spot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the burgers are phenomenal.
That's what it looked like. So we might have to make our way over there.
I'd have to say, on all the burgers we've done, they've had the best.
Really?
Burger-wise, yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Well, speaking of burgers, remember, I'm always so excited every year to get back to our Maple Beach burgers.
Yeah, I've still never had one.
Oh my goodness. Well, weekends are hard, I gotta say. It's so many people. They're open from 11 to 2 and 5 to 8. And those are, I mean, honest, the grill goes off at 2 and at 8. But so people now have started lining up
Yeah.
like at 4:30. And when they open the doors, there's already this. We got there at 5 o'clock, and it was already jammed with people. I had to wait in a very long line and had to wait about 45 minutes for my burger. And
Ooh.
it's it's worth it. And the great thing is we say, oh, that's okay. And we go by boat, and so we just run across and get on our boat and sit down there or go for a little cruise and come back. And anyway, so I did get that, but they're and I think it's early in the year and everyone's as anxious to get
Yeah.
there as I am. And they just make a great meal. That's all. And people complain about how long they have to wait and that they don't answer the phone and all that sort of thing. Well, it's just because it's rockin' busy out there,
Yeah.
and I mean, they're not doing anything wrong. It's just that it's busy.
We've tried a couple
So
times to get a Where to Eat out there, and it hasn't come to fruition.
yeah. Well, anyway, it's just a very busy place, but they are open. Monday is the only day they're not open, and so I think a weeknight or even a lunch
Yeah.
burger would be better than trying to. Weekends in the evening is just about impossible.
Yeah.
Because everybody loves it.
It reminds me a lot about Chase's Ethel Beach.
Yes, very much like that. But the food just great, and oh my goodness, I had onion rings this time. They got the best onion rings. As long as I'm glowing about places, I heard an ad just before you and I went on about Northern Stone. And I have to tell you, that Northern Stone and Jackie from Builders First Source, I've been working with them over the last little bit, and my stone countertop got put in yesterday.
Oh, nice.
And I got a beautiful quartz called Calcutta Gold that Jackie helped me pick out. She was just great to work with. And then Jason and Scott from Northern Stone, two of the nicest guys ever. And I got to tell you, they did an absolutely beautiful job, and I'm beyond excited about how it looks. So if you have been wanting that your whole life like I did, I say do it and let these guys help you because man, they were so helpful. And I hardly slept last night. I kept looking at the pictures. I was so excited. So when they got done, Jason took pictures and sent it to me and said, "Enjoy." And oh my goodness,
Oh, nice.
it's beautiful. So I can highly, highly recommend Northern Stone and Builders First Source. And Jackie is just great to work with there. So, in fact, I told her you have to come over and see it in person because we've been working back and forth. And um, anyway, I got to get her over there so she can see it in person because it's beautiful. So super excited about that. And it's always fun when you go into a project like that and it turns out so well
Oh, yeah.
and the people are so good to work with. Um, yeah, that's just great. So, one more reason to shop local, right?
Always shop
Take
local.
good care of you, that's for sure. Okay, well, Vladimir Putin has told President Trump during a phone call yesterday that Russia will have to respond to Ukraine's drone attack on Russian air bases. Now, that was a real. Not only was it a terrible um, attack, and it attacked, it obliterated, something that they really needed. But the way that it was that they got all of those
Oh, yeah.
drones there and they got all that stuff in place, it has to be really, really concerning
Russia,
for
yeah.
the Russians. Anyway, Putin accused Ukraine of becoming a terrorist organization and disrupting negotiations. The conversation came as Ukraine met with U.S. senators to discuss arms and ending the war after peace talks in Istanbul failed to make a major breakthrough. So that just keeps going on and
I
on.
love how when Putin's like, I need to respond. It's like, well, wasn't there's a response to
I
your guys' little
yeah,
blanket bombing a
I know
week
it's
ago?
just a response, a response, a response, a response. Yeah. Well, Elon Musk and I just, the the mainstream media just loves this whole Elon Musk thing. The fact that he's, kind of, well, not kind of, he's bucking the president on this bill and saying exactly what he thinks of it. Anyway, he's he's making it a really big deal. And he's telling his over 200 million followers to, quote, kill the bill as
Oh,
it will bankrupt America. So he has gone further than saying the big,
big beautiful
beautiful
bill.
bill is an abomination. Now he's saying kill the bill and encouraging over 200 million followers to join him in this. He has posted over 25 times attacking the bill. Wow, he fell out of favor there pretty darn quick. It was 1 week ago
Yep.
that he was exiting and getting some gift from the president, and now he's out there doing that. Anyway, he called it a disgusting abomination previously, and indeed, the Congressional Budget Office revealed this week that Trump's big beautiful bill would add about $2.4 trillion to the nation's deficit. Now, I do know that um, the Congressional Budget Office, everyone questions how they do their math.
It's been questionable.
Yes. And so is that what's really going on? So I've gone back to if I watch TV in the morning, I go back and forth from NBC to Fox News and see how different
Oh, and it is.
that reporting is. And it is quite different. Um, anyway, so how much of that do we really believe, and how much is being accurately reported? Are we hearing the whole story? 2.4 trillion additional sounds awful. However, we have to consider what is in that bill.
Yeah.
Elon Musk said there's a lot of pork in there. I don't know that. I don't pretend to know what all is in that bill.
You can't get anything through anything if you don't have some pork.
Yeah, and so, but a lot of it is necessary. I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about national security and that sort of thing. Anyway, so we continue that fight. Two Chinese nationals have been accused by U.S. federal prosecutors of smuggling a dangerous fungus, a potential agricultural terrorism weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, now we have to worry about agri-terrorism.
Well, get to the point where the reason for it. It's just weird.
Um, they allegedly brought the fungus, a couple, they're in their 30s, brought the fungus to the U.S. to study at the University of Michigan lab where the girlfriend is working.
Yeah, they wanted basically the U.S. to study it, and so they're like, well, okay, we'll infect the U.S. crops and we'll study it here where we work.
Right. And the pair were charged with crimes including conspiracy and smuggling. So I hope to
Yeah.
throw the book at these two. All the more reason to vet those people who are coming into our country.
Yep.
And speaking of that, of course, President Trump has now closed entrance into the United States by like a dozen different countries, most of them African and Middle Eastern countries. So, and people, of course, are already crying out about that. But you know what? I, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Some of those countries, I mean, as evidenced in this thing that happened in Colorado.
Hmm.
Here's a guy whose visa expired. He didn't. He shouldn't have been living here.
Nope.
Now they tried to deport his wife and 5 children, and of course, a judge now is standing in the way of that. I say, hey, their family, they are here illegally. Send them home.
Yeah.
But now a judge is standing in the way of that. So anyway, yeah, people coming in to do harm, and that is what the president is trying to keep from happening by banning these countries from coming to the United States. Just consider, people, what it takes to get into any other country of the world.
Exactly.
You can't just run across the border like you could do here in the United States. And I don't think that's so easy anymore, thank heaven. But you can't just, you know, jump into any country and stay as long as you like. You know,
They got rules.
they do.
They follow the rules.
Yes, and the United States should do the same. So, a man accused of threatening to assassinate President Trump was framed. Raymond Morales Reyes, an undocumented immigrant who was arrested for the threats, but prosecutors now claim they were written by Deshaun Scott to prevent Morales Reyes from testifying against him in a robbery case.
Oh wow.
So he was framed. Um, uh, I don't know. They get points for creativity here. I don't know. Um, anyway, he thought this guy is going to finger me, and so I need to make sure
He gets deported or
that he
arrested
gets
first.
deported. Right. Despite being cleared on the threat allegations, Morales Reyes will face a deportation hearing. So likely that he will be headed out of town. And guess who wrote a book in 135 days? I will add, former White House press secretary KJP. Yep, she claims that she has left the Democratic Party.
No.
That's shocker. I know. And urging more Americans to become independents in her new book. She cites the lawsuit filed in, nope, that's not true. I turned the page too soon here. She cites the Democratic Party's betrayal that led to Biden's decision not to run for a second term and says the U.S. has broken a two-party system. She defends Biden's mental acuity but criticizes Democrats for putting him in before a firing squad. I don't know.
She defends his mental acuity.
I don't.
Has
I
she
don't know
not
how.
heard some of these tapes
Yeah.
and
I
some
don't.
of these interviews he's done?
I don't know how you do that. But anyway, now she has written a book. I don't know when it's out there, but
Well, they always write books.
they do, and I don't know who will be clamoring to get that. But keep
Please.
it. Obviously, she was writing that book before she left
Yeah.
her post, because she's only been away from there 130 some days, and
please buy my book because nobody's going to hire me after my performance.
Yeah, maybe that could be true. She might be like on Dancing with the Stars or
Oh,
something.
please no.
All right. When we come back, we've got, let's see, um, somebody is suing Aldi for ripping off Oreo Nutter Butter packaging to fool customers into thinking that they're really getting those two brands. I've seen them both at Aldi. I just assume they were Oreos. I just assume they're Nutter Butter.
Does it say Nutter
Are they
Butter
not?
and or Oreo on the bag?
Yeah, I gotta look. I'm gonna, for science, I will check that out today. But
And do
I'll
taste
tell
test.
you, yeah, I'll tell you more about that story when we come back on Morning Talk.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
This is Ryan Welly with the Fergus Falls Monument Company. When you're thinking about a memorial for your loved one, I invite you to stop in and see our large selection of memorials on display. The memorial you choose is crafted for you right here locally with an everlasting warranty. That means it's perfect now and forever, guaranteed. Call or stop into Fergus Falls Monument or visit us online at foreverstonememorials.com. Memorials that matter.
Create eye-catching planters with 25% savings on select annuals at Nature's Garden World. Prince Tut, Queen Tut, and Baby Tut grasses, Miso Vine, and marigolds, plus many others. Nature's Garden World open Monday through Saturday. Highway 210 East, Fergus Falls.
Keeping you company out on the lakes. The Minnesota Twins and News Talk 1250 AM KBRF.
Hey, Twins fans, it's Chris Atterbury. The Twins trying to finish off their road trip at 6-4, trying to sweep the A's in a 4-game series. They take to the airways today at 2 o'clock with Gino's pregame lineup card. Dan Gladden has the call at 2:35 as David Festa gets the ball for the Twins. Hope you'll join him right here on your home for Twins baseball.
News Talk 1250 AM KBRF. Depend on it.
For a limited time, employee pricing for everyone at Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls. From America, for America. Get employee pricing on most new Fords. Some exclusions apply. Get a new 2025 F-150 and save up to $12,000. Buy below invoice like Ford employees and get the newest model at $12,000 off. Employee pricing for everyone from Ford and Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Leighton Media has an amazing opportunity to add a media consultant to our Fergus Falls team. If you have energy, integrity, and a passion to talk to people, you might be the perfect fit. We want someone that is not only a go-getter, but a team player who's eager to be part of a successful, supportive team. If you're ready to make an impact with the businesses we work with, we want to hear from you. Apply today at Leighton.media and become part of a team that values community, integrity, and growth. That's Leighton.media to apply. Your success starts here.
KBRFradio.com is your online home for News Talk 1250 KBRF. You'll find the latest in local and national news, plus sports, and you can podcast or stream live. That's at KBRFradio.com.
Get the latest in ag information and market updates with the Red River Farm Network. Monday through Friday. News Talk 1250 AM KBRF. Depend on it.
Good morning market update on the Red River Farm Network. I'm Randy Conan. Grain markets continue its back and forth action. Country Futures market analyst Darrell Holiday.
Yeah, we did. We saw some continue to have when we have these sell-offs, we have the short covering rallies. But there's just still the big picture on the grain side. There's just nothing to inspire any. It might spawn some short covering, but not any new longs going, man, that's a good buy. I'm going to buy something. And there's risk to the upside. It's just not there. And probably the number one thing that signals that to me is how pathetic July corn acts. Just been horrible the last 2.5 weeks.
And the livestock market continues to firm on tight cash supply.
It's just continued to be record prices. The like said yesterday afternoon newsletter that the doomsdayers have once they go on the cattle market who just keep calling the tops of the market because of a little reversal. They don't pay attention to the cash fundamentals. The cash fundamentals are extremely strong. Packers bidding aggressively in the South, shoring up the spread. We haven't really traded in the North, but let's just call this, the South's going to be all of $4 to $6 higher on the week. I think we're in bids down at 228. We saw the surface yesterday. Futures have just got to get closer in line with the cash market.
Cash trade this morning. Again, we did see some trade yesterday, $3 to $6 higher, 225 to 228. The North still remaining very quiet, and they need to move some cattle yet this week. Cutouts expected to be mixed on light to moderate box movement. You're listening to the Red River Farm Network. The Minnesota Farmers Union Minute. Government Relations Director Stu Laurie is with us. Stu, give us a wrap-up on the legislative session here.
The legislative session ended on Monday, and they completed about 10% of the total state budget. So we're currently going to a special session. The good news there for agriculture, the agriculture bill did pass. They reached a conference agreement on Sunday and quickly passed it through both bodies on a broad bipartisan basis. It includes in the first 2 years a $9 million increase to agriculture programs, and the next 2 years a $3 million increase to ag programs, which can't be taken for granted at a time when the state is tightening our belt due to financial pressure in the budget forecast. So certainly notable, appreciated, and allowed them to put together a good package for agriculture.
Your voice in St. Paul and Washington, D.C., the Minnesota Farmers Union. The 96th North Dakota State FFA Convention, an exciting week of leadership, learning, and celebration. Stay with the Red River Farm Network for coverage of the blue and gold. You'll hear from agriculture's next generation in these reports on air and online. The reports brought to you by Ag Country Farm Credit Services, Farm Credit Services of Mandan, the North Dakota Beef Commission, NDFB, Proseed, Nutrien, and the North Dakota Farmers Union. It's the North Dakota State FFA Convention with coverage on the Red River Farm Network.
Sign up for the Red River Farm Network's weekly e-newsletter. FarmNet News arrives in your inbox every Monday morning. American Sugar Beet Growers Association President Neil Rockstead is a subscriber.
That weekly email that the Red River Farm Network comes out with is my go-to place for ag news. If there's only one thing that I read all week in regards to ag news in the Red River Valley and nationwide, it's always your email, hands down.
FarmNet News, delivering news to your email every Monday. Subscribe at rrfn.com.
July wheat Minneapolis is down 2.5 cents, 6.21. Chicago July wheat's up 1 3/4. Kansas City July wheat up 1.5. July corn is down 3 cents, 4.36. December corn's a penny higher, 4.44 3/4. July soybeans a penny and a half higher, 10.46.5. November 2 1/4 higher, 10.27 1/4. In Winnipeg, July canola is down $5.10 a metric ton. June live cattle 202 higher, 220.42. August is up 212. August feeder cattle 257 higher at 306.45. September is up 247. June lean hogs up 30 cents at $100.27. July hogs down 85 cents. This is the Red River Farm Network.
There's lots of gear to help you fish, but make sure you pack your guides in your tackle box. Listen to Todd and Phil from PT's Guide Service during Gone Fishing, presented by Frontier Marine and Power Sports. Gone Fishing helps you land more fish by letting you know the techniques that are working on area lakes. Listen in as PT's Guide Service shares a boatload of experience. Gone Fishing can be heard right here every Friday afternoon at 5:25, presented by Frontier Marine and Power Sports. Listen in this Friday and let people know you've gone fishing.
Summerfest is back in Fergus Falls, June 13th and 14th. 2 big days of fun with arts and crafts, food, live music, and entertainment at Kirkbride Park. Fireworks Friday night and the big parade Saturday at 6. It's Summerfest, the 13th and 14th in Fergus Falls.
I once booked a venue that was a logistical nightmare. Too far from the hotels and too hard to find. It made our entire event feel rushed and stressful. That's when I decided to try the Bigwood Event Center. Being right off the interstate and a hotel on site, it made travel easy for everyone. They took care of all the setup and cleanup, letting me focus on my presentation instead of the details. It made our event run so much smoother, and I'll never go back to the old way. Meetings with impact begin at bigwoodeventcenter.com.
Save big on everything for your next painting project when you shop at Menards. Pittsburgh's Premier is an interior paint and primer in one that provides excellent all-around performance in an easy-to-clean, durable finish. Save big money on Pittsburgh's Premier Paint now at Menards. Plus, don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all our great deals happening now. Save big money at Menards.
Newstalk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone. A little bit of rain, maybe even a thunderstorm possible after 2 o'clock. 73 for our high today. 53 for tonight's low. 73 on Friday. 77 Saturday. Another chance of some showers and thunderstorms Saturday into Saturday night. And then we'll see a little bit of rain possible off and on for Sunday, Sunday night, and Monday. Right now, cloudy, 61, winds fairly calm. It is Newstalk 1250 KBRF. And as we talk about a possibility of seeing a little bit of rainfall on Saturday, it's not till the afternoon. So hopefully everybody's got their Lake Region run completed. I'm hoping to have that done.
Oh,
So don't forget about road closures around Lake Alice and Mill Street, and then be watching out for, law enforcement kind of blocking traffic here and there for the runners.
Is everything on Saturday, or do they have some things on Friday?
Well, on Friday, they've got pack and pickup, and you can do some registration.
Okay.
And that'll be at Dr. Al Magnuson Park.
So you actually still could sign up if you wanted to do that?
Yeah, you can still sign up. You can't sign up online anymore. You got to sign up. That ended last night. And then today we've got, or nothing today, then tomorrow they've got pack and pickup from 5 to 7, and then they start, I'm trying to remember what time they start. They start early on Saturday for registration and pack and pickup. You can go to lakeregionrun.com and find out all the details. I'm excited. The finisher medal this year is the little otter from the splash pad.
Oh,
and it's a 3D otter.
Oh, cool.
And it can actually stand up.
Oh, very cool.
And so that'll be very, very interesting. I'm highly excited. I saw it a couple months ago. Caroline brought in the test runs.
Yeah, shoot. Typically, I have Caroline on this show, but you've had her on your show.
Yeah, I had her on
so I missed out on visiting with her. I look forward to that every year. But yeah, she just does such a great job. I know that it's not just her; she's got a lot of people helping her. But they have such a great event every year, and so everyone looks forward to it. And weather-wise, I think it's going to be just fine.
Yeah, especially in the morning. Yeah, it'll be, and hopefully a little cooler, because I mean, you work your body, you get her going.
Right. And you'd prefer to have it cooler rather than too hot, for sure.
Oh yeah. We were out there one year, the year Isaac graduated, because I had the Lake Region Run, then right after that his
graduation.
Grad
open house. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And so it was. I think during the grad open house it was over 100. But it was like 80 something, almost 90
well, I think
when we did the run.
Last weekend, I think it was pretty hot for the Fargo Marathon.
Yeah.
Was that last weekend?
Yeah, last weekend.
Okay. So it was pretty hot for that. It was, I think, in the 70s or so, mid 70s to upper 70s when the race began. So that's pretty hot especially if you're doing the marathon.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm just doing the 5K, and you'll see my tall butt sitting there walking.
Okay. All right.
I don't run it anymore.
That's okay. Okay, so let's go back to that Aldi story.
Yep.
Snack giant Mondelez has filed a lawsuit against Aldi, accusing the grocery store chain of packaging its own brand products too closely resembling Oreo, Chips Ahoy, and Triscuit snacks. Okay, I feel like I've seen all three of those things at Aldi.
I think the Aldi's Chips Ahoy knockoff are really good.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
Well, I didn't realize any of these were knockoffs. I just assumed that they were able to carry them.
If it doesn't say Oreo, if it doesn't say Chips Ahoy, if it doesn't say
Triscuit. It does.
They might also sell Oreos and such.
Okay, well, I have to look.
But it's like going to Target or Walmart. They've got like name brand NyQuil and then knockoff NyQuil. They look the exact same.
Okay.
Except one says NyQuil, the other one says Pate.
Well, this says that they claim that all these peanut butter cream-filled cookies, chocolate chip cookies, and thin wheat crackers packaging are too similar to Nutter Butter, Chips Ahoy, and Wheat Thins. Now, I do know that they have a Wheat Thins box that looks an awful lot like Wheat Thins, but they are called something else. Wheat
Skinnies.
Something. They're called something else.
Grain Skinnies.
Yeah. So Let's see. I'm gonna have to go. You know what? Now that we are streaming, I can go take pictures
Yep.
and then show you how close it is. But I know that those what we know as wheat thins, they taste exactly like regular wheat thins, and the box looks much like wheat thins, but it is called something else. So maybe the Oreos are.
Skinny grains.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're called, but they're good. I buy them all the time, actually. Anyway, they're in some hot water for that. It has been filed in federal court for the Northern District of Illinois, seeking to stop Aldi from selling these products and request monetary damages. Aldi, known for its own brand products at lower prices, has faced similar legal actions in the past for packaging similarities. Aldi has not responded to requests for comment on that lawsuit. What do you think?
And they won't.
You don't think?
They won't.
No.
They won't.
Okay.
They also won't win. The other
I don't
side's
think
not going to win. No, it's
so either. Yeah.
because it goes back to the does it say wheat thins? Does it say
True.
Chips Ahoy?
True.
You
Yeah.
can't just claim a color.
Okay. Well, I got to go back and look at those now and see how different they are. I don't know if you saw this in the news, but I actually saw footage of this morning. There was a California high school sophomore. Her name is Clara Adams, and she won the 400-meter race at the state championship.
Okay.
Her time was 53:24. However, she did a little celebration after having won, and she got disqualified.
No.
Yes. Okay, but wait till you hear what it is. Clara's father, also her coach, told her she was on fire and encouraged her to celebrate by allowing her to spray her shoes with the fire retardant foam from the fire extinguisher.
Oh.
So it's kind of like, I'm on fire. And then she
I've seen
squirted it
track
on.
people do that. Yeah.
So, yeah, squirted it on her shoes. Anyway, the crowd loved it, but officials seemed didn't like it at all.
Especially in high school, you're
Yes.
gonna get in trouble.
Yep, and they deemed it unsportsmanlike, which I agree. Um, and they awarded the title to another athlete. So at the state level, she lost it. And here's her knucklehead dad who encouraged her to do it. Claire was also barred from participating in the 200 now after that. She said, I'm disappointed and I feel robbed. Maybe she should have said, I'm disappointed and I feel stupid.
Yep.
They took my moment away. Nope, you did that to yourself. Clara's dad added that she wasn't on the track itself when she set off the fire extinguisher. I actually saw it on camera. She was literally, the track was one tennis shoe length away from her. She stepped off the track onto the grass, and that's where she did it. Anyway, she said the other opponents were not there. Public sentiment largely supported Clara. I do not.
No.
With nearly 90% of respondents in an online poll disagreeing with her disqualification.
It all goes to high school state rules.
Yes. Yeah, that is unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah.
I think it's
stupid.
grandstanding, it's stupid.
It's stupid, it's overdone.
Yes. Yeah. Well, anyway, it was just a dumb thing to do. Let's see.
She was trying to get her viral moment.
And here we are helping her with that. So anyway, how about this one? Mikhail Baker, a recent high school graduate, chose to work at Burger King instead of partying after his graduation ceremony. A GoFundMe campaign was set up by a Georgia mom who was impressed by his dedication to go back to work rather than go to a party. And they raised over $180,000 to support his college education. The Burger King Foundation also awarded him a $10,000 scholarship.
You'd have to.
That's what you got to do. Wow, go to work, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, Baker's decision to work on his graduation night garnered widespread praise and support, with donors commending his work ethic and integrity. Bet somebody picks that guy up.
Yeah.
The organizer of the GoFundMe campaign also received recognition along with her daughter, who received a scholarship for her studies in neuroscience. These are smarty pants.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. So see, kids, it pays to go to work.
Pays to go to work.
Right? is a study, this one in child development, said that regularly singing to infants can lead to lasting improvements in their overall mood and well-being. So there you
Because they're going to know that they're not the worst singers in the world. Man, he should have heard Mom back in the day.
I know. Even if you can't sing, I think there is a lot to this. Anyway, of course, their sample was 110 families with infants over 10 weeks old, and they used parents just got in there, increased their singing through a structured music enrichment program. Their babies showed significant improvements in mood that persisted even after the program ended. So if you want your baby to be happy, start singing, even if you're not so good. The study builds on previous research demonstrating music's calming effects on babies. So there you go. And you know what? Babies, and I think people of all ages, I know elderly people, a lot of times, if they are um, agitated for any reason, a lot of times music kind of calms that down. So I think there's some guts behind this.
Yeah.
Yep, I do. Okay, do you want to hear who makes the list of America's richest women celebrities? Got any guesses?
America's richest women celebrities. I'm going to go number one, Oprah.
Oprah is the top spot. Good
And then
job.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift is here. I think she is not number two.
One of the Jenners.
Yeah, so Kim Kardashian, same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Taylor Swift, she's worth 1.6 billion. Back to Oprah, worth 3.1 billion dollars. I am not an Oprah fan. I can't stand Oprah Winfrey.
It's Oprah.
Oh, I can't stand watching her. Anyway, let's see. Taylor Swift worth 1.6 billion. Earned a huge chunk of that during her Blockbuster Eras tour.
Yep.
Along with, she's had some successful movies, books, album re-recordings. Rihanna at 1 billion. Let's see what else we have. Mostly desert people I've never even. Selena Gomez, Kylie Jenner. They're in the hundreds of millions, $700 million range. And both of those people have successful cosmetic businesses. So that's where yeah. And it doesn't hurt that their parents were
incredibly famous.
Yes, incredibly famous. So that's how they got their start. Disney's live action remake of Snow White going to premiere on Disney Plus on June 11th.
I'll pass.
I'll pass too. Yeah, I guess I always ask this question: why do blockbusters come out in the summer?
I don't know.
You know, for us here, at least in Minnesota, we're not inside watching movies in summer.
But you got to realize that didn't come out in the theater this summer. That's coming out on Disney Plus. It's already been in the theater, and it's been a huge flop.
Oh, okay.
That's the one where the
it says the film was poorly reviewed by critics and audiences alike and largely failed.
Oh, it failed huge.
Office. Okay. Well, I guess there's just some things that maybe you shouldn't remake.
Well, you got the lady that was cast as Snow White talking about how awful the original movie was.
Yeah, she was terrible. Yeah, terrible. Here is a story about a guy named Kyle Vasquez, 21 years old, was arrested in New York for dumping food on himself at local businesses and recording people without their consent. Where do you how do you wake up one day and say, I think I'm going to take a video of me dumping food on myself? Anyway, he's going to face some charges, 8 charges, in fact, including criminal tampering and unauthorized recording. He dumped eggs at a Ralph's Italian Ices and beans at a Chinese eatery, creating a mess and disturbing residents. I don't understand the outcome of that. Anyway, he is known for, of course, his TikTok videos with over 100,000 followers, posted all these stunts online. So he does stupid things.
If there's a reason to get rid of TikTok, there we go.
There it is. Yeah. Well, anyway, he has been investigated for a bunch of his shenanigans. But why You know, I don't know about you, but I've got somebody on that's a Facebook friend that I'm about ready to ditch because every single day, and sometimes more than once a day, is another video. And I'm like,
You're not going to ditch me.
no, it's not you.
I was going to say, because I post videos all the time.
You do?
Yeah, there's some I like.
You
Normally,
know,
normally they're like cat videos.
oh yeah, no, no, it's not you. But it's someone, I suppose they're somewhat of an influencer. I
Oh.
don't know. But every day, every day, every day, telling people how to exercise and lose weight and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, I cannot stand to see another one of these.
Eat better, get some exercise. There you go.
And maybe because it's just, I feel like a slug when I'm sitting there watching it. I don't know. But I already walked my 2 miles for this morning and
Well, there
every
you
morning
go.
this week. So there. But anyway, I just get tired of being force-fed health. And I think sometimes people who maybe don't work out, maybe don't eat right, I think they are put off by these just
Yeah.
because they know they're not doing what they should. And maybe that's my reasoning, but I'm like, oh, enough.
I need to do my daily video
Back
of
off.
Dave drinking a can of V8.
I mean, there's just some people that they just puke all over Facebook every single day with, I do this and I do this and anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, I enjoy starting my day with a nice can of V8.
Are you on camera?
Oh, yeah, I'm on camera
good,
with it.
Good.
Enjoy V8.
You are drinking V8.
I do. I drink V8 every morning. It's my breakfast.
You do.
Yeah.
I do not like V8 toast.
You either like it or you don't.
I feel like it's like drinking a malt that tastes like tomato.
Well, I don't sit there and savor it. I just, knock it down because I know that gets a healthy start to your day.
Well, that's great.
And everybody's like, well, it's high in sodium. I'm like, yeah, my last blood work, and he said my sodium was low. And then he's like, the doctor's like, well, don't you put salt on anything? I'm like, very few things I put salt on, and if I do, it's sea salt.
Do you know what? I put salt on everything.
I used to, but I've kind of gotten away with it.
My mom,
away from
I
it.
have lunch with my mom every day, and she always used to say to me, really, you should taste it before you add salt. You add
That is
salt
true.
before, and that is true. But do I do that? Nope, I just automatically add salt.
It reminds me of a story. A boss took out two prospective employees out to dinner. He sat down with them. They ordered their food. They talked and got along, got to know each other and stuff. And as it went, he said, "Okay, Ted, you're going to get the job. I'm sorry, Bob. You're a good candidate, but I think I'm just going to go Ted." "Oh, okay." So Bob goes off, and Ted's like, "What made you pick me over him to be the new manager of the company?" And he goes, "Well, because you actually tasted your food before putting the salt and pepper on."
Oh, is that a reason? Is that?
Yep, because he's looking to see, hey, are you just going to do your thing, or are you going to see what's wrong and then fix it?
And okay.
And so that's an old parable.
Okay, I don't know if that's apples to apples, but it does make you think.
Yeah, check, see what needs it. Because I mean, who knows? Maybe you take a bite and you're like, whoa, that's a lot of salt on there already.
Right.
But I usually taste it, except for places I eat often. There are places I eat often. I know how it's going to taste when it comes out.
Right.
So I know if I need to add a little bit of salt, no salt. Do I need a little pepper? A lot of pepper.
I know I'm terrible about adding salt.
And if you're looking for kind of a good, we're almost done. A good rub, go to Fergus Home and Hardware. Get the Meat Church Blanco.
Ooh.
It goes awesome on darn near everything.
Okay. And my go-to is salt, pepper, garlic. I don't know who makes it, but it's the best. So
you would like that because it's pretty much salt, pepper, garlic, and maybe some dried onion in there and stuff.
Okay.
I'd recommend it.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I think we got to wrap it up, huh?
Yep.
All right. Thanks for joining us this week. We'll be back again on Monday with more of Morning Talk. Our show today and every day brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Falls Monument Company. So have a great weekend.
612 Saturdays are back at Target Field. Enjoy